This is what it looks like when you fall asleep with your makeup on. Hi everybody, it's PJ and I gotta go wash my face, but I want to take this off first. I have my cream on and ready to get started for the day. Yay! It is so beautiful out. So, I wanted to talk to you really quick about, like, I try to not talk about things like politics or like if something's bad on the news, or like I try to keep this place like upbeat, and it's not always easy to do because I am it's not always easy to do because I am an opinionated girl. No, not you. Why would you ever be opinionated? Not you, Mom. You're so... But I try to keep it away from here. But I almost feel like I can't right now. Like, in good conscience. Look at the ruddy. The ruddy is real. In good conscience, not say anything. So, if you hate politic talk, yeah, this is probably the time that you should shut me down. I know that everybody wants change. They are so tired of politicians and their rhetoric and bullshit and how separated they are from our lives, like our daily lives. They don't know what it's like to pay taxes because none of them have ever had to pay our bracket of taxes because they come from a society, like most of them come from like some legal side of the law or whatever, or they just are out of the loop when it comes to being like a broke American struggling, living paycheck to paycheck to get by. And that being said, middle class has taken the hit, and me, I've taken such a hit lately because of, well, it doesn't matter. I don't want to go into me. My point is that everybody wants change so bad that they're willing, and that's the only, I can't believe that all of America is a huge racist bigot. But maybe a good portion still has some of those old feelings. But I can't believe that we're willing to allow this guy, this man, and of course I'm talking about Trump. I mean, you have to know that. To run our country, or be like, remember, if somebody runs the country as our president, they're basically standing up for who we are as a group. And that is not this man. Like, but everybody's so damn tired of all the politicians and all the bullshit talk and all that, that because this guy screams the loudest, they feel like they have a voice in him. And I wish that were true. Nobody wishes that were true more than me. Like, I wish that we had somebody, like, we actually do, but nobody's going to go along with them. But I wish that we had somebody that represented the country and at the same time wasn't representing the worst part of us, the hateful, nasty part of us. And that's unfortunately because everybody's so sick of all the crap that we go through from government. We're willing to put this megalomaniac, egotistical, crazy man in the office. So apparently he had, I don't know if you all saw the stuff about him and the Trump U. And just Trump U alone was like a sham. And like my poor girls have gotten stuck in that, like where I have so many girls who went to school under that kind of thing, like the Trump U or the all the at-home schools, it's just all a sham, you know. Trump University wasn't even a university. Like that's a lie. The name is a lie. You can't call yourself a university unless you are, and they weren't. And so he got caught on all this, and now he's being sued because they had like sales meetings, the people that were rounding people up to take these courses. It was courses to become a millionaire real estate agent. Now here's the thing. Like the people that they went and targeted like low income single moms, all that. They did the same thing to my girls with some of those online places. They just inundated them with what they could do. And you know, you can do that, but not you can't cut a corner and be in one of these schlock schools and end up being a music producer. Like, it doesn't happen, okay? And my girls didn't see that, and some of them owe so much money. It is sickening. And Trump U did the same thing. They targeted minorities and single women with children and told them they were bad moms and doing bad things if they didn't do this to improve their lives. And these women put $35,000, $40,000 a course on their credit cards. They put it on student loans that they'll never, ever be forgiven for or be able to pay off. And they're stuck. Now they're stuck. They'll never own a home. They're like, that's done because now they have signed up for something. Of course, they did not become millionaires because you're not all going to become millionaires. And so it turned into this sham. Anyway, that's not even the point, although it breaks my heart because I have so many girls at work that owe these student loans that, like, I think I should start a protest. Long story short, people sued him. They're suing him for this. You know, of course, one more Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I mean, he's got like 6 big businesses in bankruptcy right now. This is the guy we're going to give, you know, all our money to like, here, yeah, I'm going to work and pay taxes so Trump can fucking drive us into Chapter 11 like the rest of his businesses. So he didn't want to turn over a bunch of paperwork, okay? Because, and the paperwork's out. I mean, you can read it online. It's all about like the sales tactics and what the salespeople that were talking to the people that would want to go to school were supposed to say to them and do for them to make them take these $35,000 courses that aren't, it's not a university. Like, these poor people just had no idea what was hitting them. And it was sales tactics. And I know because I work in sales, and it's the worst side of sales tactics. It is that seedy, make you feel like shit if you don't do what I say side of sales, which I hate. So that being said, they're suing him. A bunch of people, it's a class action lawsuit because it's all lies. And it isn't one of these things where he wasn't directly involved. Like some of his companies he's not involved in like that. Anyway, they want his records. You know, they want the records to be able to look through and see if like any of this is valid, what these people are suing him for. And he doesn't want to give them up. He's like, no, don't want to give you the records. So, the judge that is seated on this case is Hispanic, but he grew up in Indiana. I mean, he's just like, not that even matters. Honestly, if you're a judge in America, you should be pretty much, you know, like, you're a judge. It doesn't matter. And this guy is an American. He is not a Mexican. He has Mexican descent in his family, but he's a judge from Indiana. He grew up in Indiana. Like, He is not. So anyway, Trump actually thinks it's okay to say, oh, you have Hispanic parents maybe, or I don't even know where the, like how far or whatever in is this guy. Like I didn't research the guy, but he, he was born in Indiana to American parents, not illegal. So he's like, well, I don't want this guy being the judge on my case because he's Mexican. First off, the guy's an American. He's not a Mexican. He has Hispanic in his background, but if you're born here, you're an American. Even if your parents are Oriental, you're American. You might be Amerasian or this, but you're American, okay? No, he keeps calling him a Mexican. Like that's a bad thing. But then he's like, but that's not a bad thing. It's like when when people hate gays and they're like, well, he's a faggot, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, Like, that person. Well, that's what he's doing. And then they actually like interviewed him. What a buffoon, man. And he said, he was like, well, he's a Mexican. And the guy interviewing him was like, no, he's an American. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, but he's a Mexican. And he's like, well, you think that because of his ethnicity, he can't be a judge, a fair judge in America? And Trump looks at him and goes, I'm building a wall. The guy is like, what? Okay, regardless, he's a judge in America. He's an American judge. He's like, it's a big wall. It was actually very funny. I mean, what a buffoon. But I was like, what the fuck are people thinking? That they're thinking that this buffoon can run our country. I mean, he is so scary. He's so Hitler. He brings out the hate in people. Like, that's what he does best. And in his little thing that he wrote for this school, he says, sell people on feelings. Don't sell the courses or the products. Sell them on feelings, how they're going to feel. That's how you get people to buy. And if you ever look up sales, that is how you get people to buy. You sell them on the feeling of, feeling good about how well they're going to do for their family now. The problem is that's what he's doing to the country. He doesn't really have any answers. He's not bright enough. Believe me, if he was bright, he wouldn't make stupid ass statements like this. People are running from him in the Republican Party. And the ones that aren't should be ashamed because they're willing. This is the worst part of... fuck Trump. Listen to this part. The worst people on this are the Republicans that know what they're doing, but they're willing to do it just because that means a Republican's in office. That's like they're willing to put Trump there because that means the Republicans are in the White House. It is insane that you would allow this, like the people that stand beside him in the Republican Party, shame on you. Like, you know better. They do. They're on there going, well, we didn't like what he said, but you are so desperate to have a Republican in the White House for a change that you are willing to allow this in your country. Shame on you. Shame on you. I just can't say it enough. This has got to stop. That some idiot. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, it isn't like, listen, if he was just like even Mitt Romney, who was caught saying horrible things, he's not as crazy as this man. And they took him out in a heartbeat. I mean, this is unconscionable for the Republicans to say, well, it's all we can do to try to win, so let's win at any cost, even at the cost of us, of it, the American public, because this man is going to bring us back to before the 60s. No, to the 60s, where there was race wars and violence, and it is going to turn so ugly if he gets in, and everybody knows it, and they're willing to do it because they're thinking, well, in 4 years, we'll still get a Republican in. It's an insane thought. It is unconscionable that these Republicans, that the Speaker of the House, that all these people are backing him, even though they hate him. And they've come on TV and said, I don't agree with anything he says. I hate him, but he's a Republican. That is not good enough. That's like very Hitlerish. It's like all of the people that were, like all the Germans. Listen, I'm not against Germans. I'm German. My maiden name is German. But all the people in Germany that stood by and allowed Hitler to do what he was going to do, all the people that did horrible things because they said they didn't have a choice, that's what the Republican Party's doing right now. That's who they are. They would still be considered war criminals because that doesn't wash. It doesn't wash that you say, well, what could I do? I had to go along. You don't have to go along. You can stop this, guys. Republicans, hear me. Stop this crap. Now, you still want to go conservative? There's a perfectly good guy. I mean, listen, he's not my cup of tea, but he's not nuts. And he's on the Libertarian Party, on the Libertarian ticket. They're not allowing him in any of the debates, which is meaning that he's meaningless because the fucking all of the media won't allow him. It's our third party, by the way, the Libertarians. I used to be a Libertarian. I'm not anymore because it turned into the Tea Party and all that crap. But my point is, he's at least rational. He's right-wing, and he's somebody that the Republicans, they cannot get behind Trump or shouldn't be behind Trump, can go to Gary something. I'll put his name underneath. It's not who I'd vote for, but it doesn't matter. If they want an alternative, then you get an alternative. You don't because you want your party to win so bad. Let this Hitler dude in. It's insane. And every single Republican should absolutely have to pay for this when they have him in office and shit goes completely south. Like you just don't. I mean, maybe it's my background because I'm Jewish and I know from my families and them talking what it's like to be persecuted, enslaved, and murdered for being a certain nationality, race, or religion. America is not supposed to be like that. But you wouldn't know that if you talked to this man because it has turned into like hate against Hispanics, and every Hispanic that can vote in America, please, I don't care who you vote for, do not vote for Trump. Like, everybody needs to rise up and say, this is not the spirit of America. It's not. Please say it's not. Because if it is, then, oh my gosh, people are so hateful. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So I will continue to pull in all the most positive thoughts and try and meditate and use every power that I have to make sure that this doesn't happen to our country. All right, guys, I love you. I'm sorry for the speech. Love you. Bye.